Vielen Dank. Jacob Appelbaum.
Hi. I wasn't planning to say anything, but I wanted to say thank you to everyone who came here today. I've worked with Julian for more than 10 years, and in this time, I've seen many people come and go in the circle around Julian. I've seen many people that say terrible things about him because those were the things that they wish to focus on in this world. And when I tried to bring people here today, people who have known Julian, people who have worked with Julian, who've known him, who've published books with him, worked on publications with him, each of those people had something that they needed to do that was different than being here in some way. And I find that this is, it's extremely difficult when you face propaganda on a daily basis, when you face people that tell countless lies about your work, because the lies take up the air in the room. Instead of speaking about collateral murder, they speak about his socks. It is important that what we do is not only speak about Julian, but the publications that Julian has brought into this world. Of course, it is a struggle that involves an individual. It involves Chelsea Manning. It involves Edward Snowden. It involves so many people, so many journalists and so many publications. We worked in that building right there. That was the Der Spiegel headquarters at the time, when we published many stories that were in the public interest, even when the public wasn't always interested, but it was in the public interest. And over time, there is an attrition where people feel worn down and depressed, and they don't come to these rallies anymore. And what we have to do is refresh. We have to bring in new people by showing them the publications and asking them if they wish that these publications, if they were not public, if they could not know these things. This to me is something which honors what Julian is doing. And of course the German government should do, as the nice parliamentarian from Die Linke suggested, that the German government should give political asylum, not only to Assange, but to other people. Many of us face pressure specifically to turn on Julian. I was given an offer, if you can call it that, by the Department of Justice. They let me know that I can come the easy way or the hard way, but either way, they expect me to testify against, I assume, Manning, and probably against Snowden and against Assange. And I told them that I would rather die on foreign soil than let Trump's Nazi government get his hands on me. Each of us has a choice. And when Julian heard about the choice that I was given, he did not press me in any direction. He merely said, "You're so lucky. Very few people get a choice where they get to decide what kind of person they are and what kind of person they want to be." And I think this is what I wish to share with you. It is a hard and rough road. There are terrible things that are afoot, and it is extremely brutal to imagine that Julian Assange is today in Belmarsh prison so that you could know about people that were engaged in illegal war crimes, in killing civilians, in death squads, in mass surveillance. He is there so that you could know these things. But he didn't do this just to be there. He did this because the right thing to do was to inform the public. He is a journalist, and for the first time in American history, anyone that has worked with WikiLeaks that is of interest to them is involved in an espionage investigation that has lasted for over 10 years. I've lived in Germany in exile for 6 years because that is the choice that I will make, so that later when we think about how this happened, there is a positive example, just as with Julian. So each of us gets to make a choice like this, and I hope the choice that you make is the one that you can't not make. I hope it's the choice that when other people learn about it, they feel inspired by it. And I hope that what we can do is that we can free Chelsea Manning from her indefinite detention, and we can also free Julian Assange from what looks like a death sentence. And what I hope that we can do is hold America to its old standards, the standards that supposedly mean so much. We stand right here in front of the American Embassy today, but this American Embassy, to me, it does not symbolize the First Amendment, or the Fourth Amendment, or the Fifth Amendment, or any freedom of speech or human rights, because on the top of that embassy is where the signals intelligence room is for spying on a democratically elected leader, Chancellor Merkel. So what I see here is a different result It's the actual reality of what they're doing. And hopefully what Germany can do is ask America to live up to its own standards. And what every individual here can do is carry on this work. Because probably, well, it's not a done deal. Many of us won't survive it. But that's not to say that it shouldn't be done. It's a necessity. So I hope that you will join me and many other people in continuing to actively resist this oppression and to support journalists and to support alleged sources and to remember that even if we cannot succeed in all of these goals, it is worth doing anyway. But we might even succeed, and together, that is certainly the primary way we can succeed. So, freedom for Julian Assange, freedom for Chelsea Manning. Thank you so much for being here for his birthday.
Thank you.